Is this thing on? That was a close one. Ah. Isn't it stupid? Isn't it stupid? Look around and judge people and act like because you've judged them, then they're less than valid, and you negate everything else they have to offer you because you don't like one thing they said about you. We are a country of many hats. There. Sexy grandpa. How about that? You've got son of a fisherman. Yeah. Look at that. There's a fish head up there. That's the Jesus fish. What's left of it? You've got the soldier. That's another guy that lives next door. Should have probably left this one for last. It feels so good on my head. You got the guy out in the wilderness that just came out of the Ukraine that nobody knew he was in detention and still doesn't because he escaped on his own. Is this thing on? It's on. This is Rabbit. This will take 40 below. Well, and then you got the Statesman, the guy that's just trying to hold things together. And because it's so difficult to hold things together these days, doing something that would have been normal in his everyday life, it makes him a statesman because he acted brave and stood up for his rights. And then comes the guy that's just standing there, not wanting to be heard, not wanting to be seen. He's just there. He keeps his dark brain kept under his hat. And he keeps his mask on his face. Can't possibly wear that till the end. That was one that came up out of nowhere. I figured I'd be wearing the hat. Get the brain out of here. Put that on Anton LaVey's book over there about Satanism. Isn't it stupid? Everybody keeps speaking about such thing as if you forget history, you're doomed to repeat it. And I think I just stepped so far back into the past to make this real that it's worth talking about. Look at this. I heard Arnold Schwarzenegger. I didn't mean to say it that way. I'm sorry. I really didn't, sir. Yeah. I heard him talking to Conan O'Brien on the radio the one day on the way to work out in the world. And I said, geez, I'd really like to get that book. As it turns out, as you read it, you almost have to read it in the way that he talks, which means it takes a lot longer than you'd normally be reading. Otherwise, it's like trying to speed up his notions, his meanings. You can't speed up meanings. That's why in the Far East, they talk more slowly because it's considered to be somebody that's actually communicating instead of just plowing over somebody with a bunch of words. But and then I got it for Christmas. I got it from Christmas. Victoria's boy, the step, he got me this for Christmas without anybody ever even knowing that I was interested. He just got it for me. And somewhere in the near past, I had spoken of how the militias are filled with soldiers that didn't go to war. People that I knew, that I served with, that I called friends because it was easier than saying some guy I fucking know. And these guys that got out before there was ever a war, and they're like, oh, now they're in militias and they want to fight the fucking government. And they're calling themselves Sons of Liberty. I'm like, what? Fucking Lieutenant Dan? You want to die like your uncle and your uncle and your uncle and your grandpa? What happens if you just lose your fucking legs? And I'd spoken of this, and I don't mean to make a big deal out of things because I wonder sometimes whether I'm changing the world. But here it was. Here it was. Just yesterday I read, it's a quote. No man is more unhappy, this Stoic philosopher Seneca said, than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself. And you want to fucking forget history? Remember this. This is that goddamn philosopher Seneca, put forth by Arnold Schwarzenegger, who should be president. I'm calling Freeman Schwarzenegger in 2024. But it's been said again. It goes that deep. You need to pay attention to the people. Maybe we should go back to compulsory fucking 20-year fucking life sentence to... That's why in the movie The Soldier with Kurt Russell, they are just born to be soldiers and they never live life with others. Isn't it stupid? It seemed like there was something I was going to say. The truth is, it really is. Somebody called me an influencer once. It wasn't an insult when they were using it, but I'm like, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just, all I'm really doing is thinking about things and watching them and not trusting. People talk about trust and loyalty and all these things. These are things that are meant to be earned. They're not meant to be given freely with no backplay. We're just sharing notions for the people that might not have the time to think about it themselves because they haven't been just inundated in this bullshit. If you want to change the world, just remember, every one of your neighbors wears a different hat. And it takes many hats to dance on a pin full of needles. I don't know.